Radio. ShakeDown.
Real Talk Radio.
ShakeDown Radio.
But
You know.
but sometimes when it does goes that way, it's always personal issues. I mean, some people, some partners, when they have have a kid or whatever, but it gets very personal when it gets between them two. Like because some people get mad, and I think that people get upset. The parents get upset and forget that they do have a child together. That's what's the main focus. But they get out of focus because some things been broken, like heart, feelings, emotions and stuff like that, and then it gets two people confused on what they really were supposed to be doing in the beginning. Like, we don't need to be worried about how we feel about each other right now. We need to be worried about this kid. But
Exactly.
but the situation gets people to get on track, like they be off track, and now one going the other way, this one go this way, and then now you with this new guy, now y'all got a new family, and this, what I'm saying, and this guy, he got a new family. You know what I mean?
Look it up. It sounds like you speaking from experience.
Something like that a little bit. You feel me? I can be honest with you. I've been through a little situation where, I'll be honest with you, I was dating a girl. We were having a good time, all that. But I was really actually stupid in love. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't want to say it's something about I was honestly in love and I knew what was going on. No, I think I was more like trapped in me being in love and that was it, right?
Right.
She ended up being pregnant, and I'm being honest, on me, like really. And but loving her so much and caring about her and not worrying about myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I took the responsibility of the child. That wasn't even mine.
Wow. That's a man.
Can I ask you this? Can I ask you a question? And I don't mean to cut you off. Why is it that, when a man get with a woman, okay, and he doesn't even have any children with that woman, taking care of her kids, and neglect his own children? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're in that situation, and you call, hey, such and such going on, this is what's going on with your child. Okay, me and my family is on vacation. You and your family. What happened to your biological children? You're over here taking care of this woman's children, but your family is over here. That's trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
I don't want.
Yeah, my fault. I ain't gonna cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I'm not trying to take up for the dude or whatever, but let's like really look deep into it. I mean, we can really like say, all right, it's wrong for what he's doing and but you gotta remember, it's always, a mental thing, and sometimes people, like I told you, it's an emotional thing too. So the child is with you, and you is the problem. So he feel like the more I stay away from the child, I'm gonna be away from the problem. I'm not making no excuse. I'm not saying that, but it's just that's how men really actually think. Like, man, I'm not trying to deal with that. She's making it move. Now, if you're making it easy when it comes to your child, a dude automatically gonna think that when you calling them, you say, "Oh, your child," they feel like you just trying to bother them because I'm on vacation with my family. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they put that in their head. I know I might sound kind of like off a little bit, but it's the honest truth. That's how some men think, like, oh, she just trying to bother me. Oh, she trying to get a little check from me. Oh, she just still in love with me.
Right.
Oh, she just trying to woo. You know what I mean? That's why I always tell a female just to be independent and be strong. Don't worry about that dude. Take care of your kid.
I think they do get involved what's going on in the other household with individual. I think both sides are right. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the ShakeDown Radio Showcase Live. Tonight we're talking about single parenthood, children's living in single family, and we have the usual, like always, special co-host Katrina Diamond on the set. What's up, Katrina?
Hey, everybody.
And I have my special guest. Y'all know him as Mr. Flick It Up in the O. Get it. So listen, we're going to make some phone calls. We're going to talk to some people that are living in a single parent line and get some questions from them, some answers, and see how it going. So our first person that's coming up is going to be Miss Keisha, and let's see her take on being a single parent, and we'll go from there and discuss it. But
hello.
Well, hello, Keisha. What's going on?
Nothing much.
Not much. You're on the air, on the ShakeDown, live. You're with my co-host, Katrina Diamond, and my special guest,
hello,
Mr.
Keisha.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
And a special guest, Mr. Flick It Up.
Okay, hey, how you doing, Keisha?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing fine.
So, Keisha, I'm giving you a call because, I did tell you that we were going to give you a call on the show. Not saying that you're an expert, but you probably can help us out with this. We were talking about, Mr. Flick It Up was saying that a lot of women get involved what's going on with the girl, and that's the reason why that the father's not involved in some of their lives. Diamond was saying that, Diamond, what was that you were saying about? Did you go to sleep, Diamond?
About the what? About the single,
Yeah.
the statistics, or?
Matter of fact, read the statistics, and we'll take it from there. If you didn't hear the statistics, here go the statistics right now.
Okay, I'm gonna read some of it, Keisha. Once largely limited to poor women and minorities, single motherhood is now becoming the new norm. Okay, and then I'm gonna skip down to about 4 out of 10 children were born to unwed mothers. Nearly 2/3 were born to mothers under the age of 30. Today, 1 in 4 children under the age of 18, a total of about 17.2 million, are being raised without fathers.
Wow. That's still wild to me. That's a lot. And here's my thing. Go ahead, Keisha.
No, I just said that's a lot. That really is a lot.
All right. So here's my thing. And I think some women are choosing to be single parents because they don't even want the kids around the father, or they don't like the girl the father's with, or some type of aspect there. Right? Or they want to know what's going on in his house before I allow my kids to go over there. If he's the father, and he means well by his kids, who cares what's going on in the house? Over there, it's giving him a time to bond with his kids. And vice versa, he shouldn't worry about what's going on in your house.
Mm-hmm. I have to disagree. I have to respectfully disagree with that. The problem is that as a mom, our job is to protect our children. And some guys generally do not have the wits or the drive or the understanding in what is right and wrong for a child. So although I don't care what you have going on as long as it doesn't affect my 3. But at the end of the day, let's say you're not in a safe environment, or you're bringing people around the children who are not safe in their own right, then you have to kind of question, like, okay, what's really going on over there? If you have 5 or 6 girlfriends coming in and out, oh yeah, I'm going to have a problem because that's unstable for my children. But besides that, I mean, at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, fathers are needed in the house. Fathers are needed in a child's life just as much as a mom is needed. But then at the same time, you have some unfit mothers. You have single dads out there raising children too. So I kind of feel like it goes both ways in that aspect. We just have to be kind of careful in terms of where you're sending your children. The world is not a safe place, as safe as it was when I was growing up. So you kind of, you have to question exactly what's going on both ends.
Okay, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
On that. All right, so when you said that about the safe environment and et cetera, everything else, my thing is I feel like do you think about like the child at first, even though they say well-being, right? But do you think that a child will let you know if they not happy or not having fun or not having that bond or something with their dad, if they dare with their dad? You don't think your kid would actually let you know or something like that? Like,
of course children will let you know. Of course, they're kids. They're going to tell you at the same time. Not the children. You have to look at the context of what your child is telling you, too. Yeah. Not trying to, say children are liars, but you have to also look at what context of the children telling you things. If they know that you're going to spaz out the minute they say something about dad, and let's say dad put them on punishment, they may come back and tell you something crazy or kind of manipulate a situation that wasn't that serious to begin with.
I gotcha.
So you kind of have to, you have to kind of know your kids. And when I say know your kids, know your children. And also know the other parent. And know that, the hardest thing I think of being a single parent is learning the balance in co-parenting. When you learn that balance in co-parent, anything else just kind of falls in place.
But that's the problem, is that more women choose not to co-parent than the father actually does.
Exactly, because I'm trying. Like I said, it's an emotional thing. I feel like once a woman is broken with this guy and he did some you know what I'm saying, what they call it, trifling or whatever you want to call it, like if you want some old out the box thing and it just tears them apart. That's why I say that they really do forget about the fact that we just parents and we need to just let that go. It's really hard for females to let a situation go when they are this broken from this guy that they have a baby with. And I got to deal with this guy for the next, 18 years or 19 years.
Right.
So, I mean, you have both sides. You have the bitter mothers, you have the bitter fathers. I mean, I honestly believe that in my situation, I'm probably one of the few just like, okay, whatever you do in your business, you start my kids. But from my environment and people I am around, I have met some bitter women. I really have. I've met some bitter men as well. I just feel like we, as single moms, we get painted with this horrible picture, like, oh, you don't want the kids around this, that, and the third. I still go back to what I said before, the unstableness. I personally wouldn't want my kids around a guy who says, hey, I'm coming to get up this weekend and never shows up for my kid to see at the doorway. Then, yeah, I'm probably going to cut out that situation for them.
Yeah, I understand the unstableness. You don't want your kids
Now, me being a single mother, and I'm not sure, I have 3 baby daddies, okay? Now, when each one was different, okay? I had one to his sibling was so involved. He wanted to play a part, but the sibling, was so involved. Oh, make sure she's yours, da 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 da. Going on and on. Then the second one, I wanted him to be involved. Every time a birthday came around, I had to call from somebody else's phone for him to answer the phone. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's your son's. It's your child's birthday. It was. And then the third one told me the only way he's going to participate is that I make the white people make him take care of his kids. You know what I'm saying? So each one was different, and it's not like I wanted them to be a part of their lives. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I was a mother, like I said earlier. It wasn't like I was a mother to say, you know what? You better not have my child around that heifer. No. I want to meet her to make sure that, who my child is going to be around or who my children is going to be around. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the type to not want my child to be around their fathers because I didn't have that child alone. Because if he wouldn't have put it there, it wouldn't have came out.
Yeah, it might.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. So, it's, I think, each situation is different. You do have some women that get beside themselves that you better not have my child around that heifer, or she can't be around. I don't want my child around another woman. How can you say that? You know what I'm saying? If he's a dad, if he's a father, he's not going to allow anything to happen to that child.
Exactly. That's true. Facts.
Facts. Once again, I want to thank everybody for who does it better. Right now, nobody's winning and no one's losing. Besides those ones that don't have any kids, they winning right now. The strippers are winning.
Strippers winning.
They winning all the way because they single parents and getting cash and they ain't worried about the baby daddy.
Cash. Even if they win, even if they do got kids, they still getting cash and bringing in the bag. Yes.
I like that. I like that.
So here's another dynamic that I think that's a problem. So you got gentlemen, men, that are really involved, that creates a safe environment, that is always there for their kids. They're involved, they do everything. If there's a game, if the kids need extra money, sending money. Plus he's paying child support, so I'm speaking on my behalf, right? I'm there for all of that. I got 3 kids that all went to college. I got 2 boys in college, a daughter in college, and not a grandparent. Amen. Thank the gods.
Hey.
And I got 1 young one that is still at home. She's 8 years old, did the start over process and whatnot. But the problem is, when you try to get involved with somebody, they put that over your head like, well, I don't want my kids around you if you got somebody else going on. Or I don't want you to come get her if you with somebody else, or so forth. And you know me, that I push somebody out the way to make sure my kids safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got women that will still try to stay involved and interrupt the male's life. As long as he's with nobody, it's all good. But as soon as he starts messing with somebody, they start hanging the kids over the head, and then he may go ahead and go and deal with the woman and still fight and try to see his kids. I just don't get that process. Ladies, help me out with it. Make me understand, why is this so?
Well, I can't understand why, and the only thing I could think of is that, when a female acts like that, is she still wants the father. You know what I'm saying? She still wants to have that control over the father. You know what I'm saying? You can't see your child unless, you got to be by yourself. The only reason I can think of is she still want to be a part of your life, and the way she can control that part of your life is to use the child. You know what I'm saying? That's playing with people's. Not only that, you have to take in regards of that child. You know what I'm saying? Because you think you're hurting the individual. You're not hurting the individual, the person or the man. You're hurting that child.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we as women have to look at. You're being so selfish because you want the man, but you're not understanding this child wants to be around her dad. So that's the only thing I could think of why a woman would act like that.
Yeah, but they got
I totally agree.
Yeah, but they got some of them that really actually don't want the man. They just want him to be miserable.
Right.
They want him to be miserable. They don't want no relationship with that man. Even if y'all don't believe it or not, they got females out there that really actually do not want to be with the baby father, don't want to be with. They just want to see him
miserable.
They don't want them down. I want you to be miserable. My child.
I've heard females say that out of their mouth. I don't want him.
Yeah.
But
I don't want you.
If I ain't with nobody and I can't be happy, he ain't gonna be happy.
You ain't gonna be happy, exactly. So it don't be. Like I said, it's really a mental, emotional thing. It's really deep. That's why I say when it comes to relationship, people gotta understand you can't be playing with people's lives. And some people, I can say I don't want to say it like that, but I'm gonna keep it honest. They chemically but imbalanced. Like it's like the reality. you know what I'm saying, it's a drug to them, and they overdose, and it's like they can't get it right. They can't get straight. I don't understand it, but it hits them real hard because they love hard. So, and when they do, it's like they're not thinking right. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that if you do be in a relationship or you do be with somebody who you know what I'm saying, like that, and y'all get together, you got to make sure you know who you're dealing with, man. Because some people, you know what I'm saying, flip-flop and turn on you real quick. And you never knew it was like that, you know? When it comes to with the child, I'm talking about when it comes to y'all having a baby together,
right,
and everything starts changing. You be like, where did this come from? I should have never had no baby with you. I don't regret the baby,
right.
but, you know, it's like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. We in a dangerous world. You know? We in a dangerous world, you know? So, and there's a lot of guys, they losing their lives and, you know, and losing a lot of things over, you know what I'm saying, child support situation. You know what I mean?
Right. So, well, I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in to the ShakeDown Radio Showcase Live. I'm here with my co-host, Katrina Diamond, special guest, Flick It Up, and we have another guest. Her name's Keisha. She was giving us a little insight. Keisha, before I let you go, you got any last words you want to say about single parent?
No, I mean, I'm okay.
Well, we appreciate having you on, helping us out with this, giving us a little bit more insight. It was some very vital information. Man, very vital. But keep watching, stay tuned, keep in touch. We'll reach back at you sometime in the future when this topic comes up again. We love having you on. Thanks again.
Bye, guys.
all right, bye, Keisha.
Yes, sir. Once again, the Shakedown. Don't forget about Gas Up Wednesday. Definitely, we're going to Gas Up Wednesday. You win cash prizes. You may even win gas money or the cookbook that we talked about on one episode. But for you to be able to win, you must subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you know how to do that in any one of these videos. There's a link below. Definitely click on the link below. And subscribe. Don't forget to follow us right here on Facebook. Like it. Normally we live on Facebook. Got a little technical issues. We'll be back live in a few minutes. But we got another special guest that we're going to be calling. That's a single parent. Her name is Miss Linda. She reached out. And we got people who want to actually speak about this topic, which I love it.
Okay.
The Shakedown love it. Because we like to have these. Once again, co-host Katrina Diamond. What's up, baby?
Hey, everybody.
My special guest, Mr. Flick It Up. What's up, man?
What's up? We in here. ShakeDown Radio, baby. We here.
Flick It Up.
Yeah, Flick It up.
So, we're giving a call to see if Linda picks up. And if she does, we will have this conversation about more about single parent. Listen, I commend the women. I commend the men for being single parents. I also commend the siblings that are over 18 that are stepping up and taking care of their sisters and brothers. That's single parent too. Just so you know.
Please leave your message for...
Just so you know. Just so you know. On it. So, well, she didn't pick up. We'll call her one more time, see if she picks up.
Okay.
A lot of people don't understand being a single parent is hard on everybody. Not just the mother. I think it's hard on everybody. And
especially if you do it by yourself. Yeah.
But I think some people, once again, don't have to do it by themselves.
Why you say that?
Here's the thing. Like we talked about before, some of these people are doing it by themselves because either what
Please leave your message for...
what the guy got going on, or they want to know what's going on in his house, even though they know he's a safe individual, or they want the guy to be miserable. And they rather for the guy to be miserable just so they can be a single parent by themselves.
I'm saying that, but well, when I was saying, yeah, it has ones that it's hard to do about it. So we talking about the ones that actually trying to, you know what I'm saying, that like what she was saying, she was out there reaching out for to the fathers.
Right.
They didn't want to participate. So it's like, really what it is. Why I kind of understand why the statistics is like that, because no offense to the ladies, but y'all suck with the baby at the end of the day. We can just hit and we can ride. It ain't gonna come with us. You feel what I'm saying? To be honest with you, what I'm saying? That's
right.
just the honest truth. So a female got to sit there and be with the baby for 9 months in her stomach. Suck. So that's why it's kind of like more of females be more single parents, because they stuck with the child, so they ain't got no choice. Because you got to think about it, if it was the dudes, it'd be a lot of females walking out too. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it,
right.
It'll be a lot of people that's like, oh, that ain't my baby, because they got dreams, they got stuff that they want to do, like, oh, nah, this was a mistake, like, not the child ain't a mistake, but, this situation is a mistake, and I ain't trying to have that right now. So that's why I say some people, they really don't have that choice. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no choice. Either take care of the baby or give up the baby for an adoption. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's just like that saying goes, mama's baby, daddy's baby. You know what I'm saying? Because the baby is always going to be there with the mom. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's just one of them piss-tail moms, excuse my French, unless it's just one of them piss-tail moms that don't want to, take the responsibility of being a mother. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you sacrifice. You have to make sacrifices when it comes to raising kids, and that's on both sides. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes the mothers, they get so tied up and want to run the streets, and especially today's mothers. You know what I'm saying? They want to run the streets and hang out, and then there's the grandmother that's raising their children. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I thank God for my kids.
And I have to. What's that, a baby boomer when the grandmother's raising the children? They call baby boomers. When the grandparent is raising their child's children, it's called baby booming. Because
baby boom.
Back, let's go, generations are created up in decades, like the millenniums, the Y2Ks, so on and so on. Within that, they were called baby boomers because from the 80s to the mid-90s, majority of grandparents were actually taking care of their grandkids as being single parents all over again, or being as a abundant family.
And you know what? And that's true. But now these days, it's more single dads. Now these days, like you playing. To be honest with you, I see more. I mean, from what I grew up, I don't know, because I you know what I'm saying. I'm an '80s baby, so around the like the '90s, I usually see a lot of single parents as a kid. You get what I mean? But like as me being growing up, beginning being as an adult, when I see it's a lot of single fathers. Like everywhere I go, like, yeah, man, I got a kid, man. My chick be tripping, man.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Now it's a lot of. I say right now is a lot of guys right now that's really involved in their kids' life. Like they really trying to do it.
Because, like the statistics says, most women or people are having babies under their 30s. And now there's different times. The women is like, look, I want to do my dream. I ain't got time. And the male is stepping up and saying, look, I take them, give them to me, I raise them, go do what you got to do. But don't get me wrong, I done heard some things happen where women said, okay, you take them, then show back 10 years later and say, give me my child, now I want child support.
Oh, yeah.
Give me my child, now I want child support. You don't show back up 10 years later, now you want child support? And we all know the government is for the women. Government for the women.
And the father, and guess what? And even through those even through those 10 years, the father won't get no kind of credibility that he took care of that child.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Won't get no kind of credibility that he took care of that child. Prime example, one of my sons, the mother came back, all of a sudden, she want her child back.
Wow.
And then takes in the child support, and now, she's saying, no, you didn't have my child for 3 years. Well, who had it?
Wow.
I'm the one that was feeding him every night, bathing him, putting him to sleep, taking him to daycare the next day. Who had it? Who had it?
Wow.
If you didn't have, who had it?
Man, that's like a man getting a prostate exam without the petroleum jelly.
Right.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had a backlash,
so,
y'all.
It's those type of women that puts a bad taste in men's mouth when it comes to their children. And then you have the type of women that like to play games, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm not bad mouthing women. This is stuff that I have seen, okay? Then you have the type of women that when the man wants the child, oh, you got to bring him back by 6 o'clock. Oh, I have a time limit to be with my child.
Wow. Now you got a time limit to bond with your child.
You know what I'm saying? Or you need to bring him back at 6 o'clock, or you need to bring her back at 6 o'clock.
Wow.
Really?
That's not even enough time to take your son to get a good lap dance. Wow.
Yeah. So you have women that try to play a lot of mind games. You know what I'm saying? Again, if she can't have that man, you know what I'm saying, or just want to play mind games, or just want to, you know what I'm saying, like, they use the kid. Why? That's stupid.
And once again, it's that control over that man's life. You want to make them miserable. Want them to be miserable. As much as he want to be a part, she will try her best to make him miserable. You know what I mean? I thank God that I'm part of my kids' lives, that I can be involved. Everything is going the way it's going. I got kids that are being successful. And I really don't get it when you also got some of these men that don't want to be a part of their child's life. Like, they literally will dip, dodge, and dodge that they don't want to be a part. That's because they still want to be Papa's Rolling Stone life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rolling Stone.
And I met a guy, he's 27 years old. He has 9 kids at 27. 9 kids. And I was talking to him, and I said, how many of those kids you living with you? He go, oh, none. I said, how many you going to get? He go, oh, man, they don't want nothing to deal with me. How, as a man, can you even live with that? As a man, how can you live with that? Because if we go in Scripture, I don't want to go too deep in Scripture, but your children are your seed. Your children are you.
Yeah.
You reap what you sow, right?
Yeah.
And with that said, the children is what you know what I mean? And we wonder why the world turning out what it is when the men ain't involved. Or vice versa, the women ain't involved.
Yeah, because there's something that's missing there that's supposed to keep it balanced. Because that's what keeps the child balanced. Because they understand both sides. And so when they get on the wheel, they won't be confused about a man, or they won't be confused about a woman. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
But like me, I was raised by my mom, so I ain't gonna lie, I just learned how I'm supposed to actually be around and how I'm supposed to act when I'm around women. You know what I mean? So, and that's what my mom, raised me on. My mom over here teaching me how to be a man. You feel me?
And she can't teach you how to stand up and piss.
She can't. But she tried, but she can't. All she don't do is teach me what she knows what she being a male and me being the person that I am, I know I do a good job being a single parent. Well, I just feel like the ones who do good is the ones who love their kids,
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the ShakeDown Radio Showcase Live, baby. Today's episode was about single parents, male or female, who do it better. Like I said, nobody's winning, no one's losing. It's just a general discussion on why society is what it is today, why our kids are struggling today, and why our single parents are having hard times to even raise their child on their own today. We as a community must help these single parents raise their children, and that's what's missing. I remember when back in the days, if I got in trouble and a neighbor knew about it, everybody knew about it.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Diamond, you ever got a whooping because somebody told that you did something?
Yes.
You know what I mean? The told that, and they fired
you hear how I said, you hear how I say yes.
Yeah.
And and see, we were raised by a single father. You know what I'm saying? When my mom and my dad divorced, my mom allowed us to go live with my dad. You know what I'm saying? My dad was in the military, so, we continued to, travel with him. So, it was a win-win. And then, we went, my mom used to come visit us or come pick us up or something like that. But, it was never where, where it was, you come to stay with me, I'm coming. It wasn't a fight. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes when the mother and the father separate, through a divorce, and then the parents, sometimes put the kids in the middle. You want to come stay with me? No, he's coming to stay with me, or she's coming to stay with me. No, they come to stay with me. Who do you want to stay with? And that's what makes it frustrating. That's when it becomes selfish on both ends.
Now
you know what I'm saying?
You're putting the pressure on the child to try to choose between the parent and
Right.
As a child, I can't even imagine what kind of pressure that is. Because now when you got a child got to choose, it's like telling him which one you love the most, and it shouldn't even be that way.
Yeah. Right. The parents gonna get hurt when they be like, I'm gonna go with they looking on both like I'm gonna go with mom, and then now he making me think like, oh, you really gonna go over there? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's a tough thing, man.
Yeah, very, very tough. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the ShakeDown Radio Showcase Live. Tonight we're talking about single parents, who does it better. Like I said, no one's winning, no one's losing. General discussion of having this conversation, what's going on with our kids today, our society, why parents are single parents, mothers or fathers, and what can we do as a community or do as a collaboration of individuals or mentors to help some of these young mothers to understand the road of becoming a single mother. What can you do to better your life and so forth. I think that's missing too. I think we're talking down on a lot of the single mothers, and not enough women are stepping up to be able to mentor them and explain to them, it's going to be a tough road, but just so the road is not as tough, when you have that guidance, like, look, I did this, make sure you do it this way. And
exactly.
But the only sad thing about it, these young girls missing their father themselves, or their parent themselves. They hard-headed, ratchet, and don't want to listen to nothing. All they worried about is that boy of theirs, or what this boy doing, and not even worried about the child. That's the problem.
Nah, they looking for Zaddy. They don't say daddy no more. They say Zaddy.
What is it?
Zaddy with a Z.
Listen, I just heard that Zaddy. When I came up north, the first of my time, I was like, what is a zaddy?
Yeah, that a zaddy.
Z-A-D-D-Y. What is the definition of a zaddy? Because number one, a zaddy can't teach a boy how to be a man. Can't teach a boy.
A zaddy, I guess a zaddy is something like two girls who really don't, they're out there, they doing their thing or whatever.
Right.
And it used to be like, oh, daddy, or they used to call the man the daddy. But I guess they just changed it up and more with it when it's zaddy is somebody that they're playing with, like the boy, the dude. This is just my dude.
That's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like a female trying to take the father role by calling him a zaddy. And I think that's a confusion in the child's life with that. That's my philosophy on that. I don't know how everybody else feel about it, but I don't think a zaddy should even exist. Now, you can say
it exists.
You can say that's your godmother or that's your second mother or whatever, your auntie or something, but a zaddy, you know what that sounds like?
Zaddy.
I love the gay community. I got nothing against it. We got some family members that's LTBG, but that sounds like that you just invited an individual to be the stud in your relationship.
Wow.
Right? You just said, and from my understanding, when I looked it up, most people that is called zaddies are women that are married to other women that have kids. Right? But now we done made this word so cultured, right? This word zaddy, so cultured to where everybody's using it and thinking it's okay. See, that's the disguise that the devil put on people. Like there's an old movie, Devil's Advocate. The greatest trick the devil could ever pull is to convince the world he never existed. Right? So the devil's the devil. He's not God. He can't be in different places. But he can definitely have minions whisper in people's ear and say, yo, this is okay. You can be a zaddy. You can be the zaddy. The child won't know any better. Now this child growing up, right? A little confused. Hopefully not too confused. From being in a single parent home that the mother done allowed another female. We're going to call, even when you allow another, a guy come in, right? It's two guys, right?
Yeah.
One is daddy, and one is laddie. We're going to call him Laddie. His name Laddie, right? You got your zaddy and your laddie, right? Now the child confused. Which one is my daddy? Or is Laddie my daddy?
Laddie my daddy.
Right. And Laddie's sitting down on the toilet pissing. I thought I was supposed to be standing up pissing. Something wrong with that picture. Something wrong with the single parent.
It is, man, but that's what's going on, man. These girls calling these, dudes zaddies. I've been seeing it on Facebook where they put it on their little comments and woo. I mean, I guess that's just the new lingo, but I ain't never seen them the way you said though. That's kind of crazy.
It is, and also believe it or not, zad is a Hebrew word for male figure. If people want to look it up, right, for male figure. Now you add it in with daddy, and daddy means a parent to a child.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're giving this word to a female or giving laddie to a male. To me, that's confusing. I don't care how much you tell the child what's right or wrong, but it still grows up to be confusion in a situation. Look, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the ShakeDown Radio Showcase Live, baby. We sitting here talking about parenthood. I got my girl on the line, Diamond Katrina. What's up?
Hey, everybody.
She was a little late. I think she fell into a coma, y'all. And my special guest, Mr. Flick It Up.
Flick It Up. know, we here, man. Showcase Radio.
Yo, I want to thank every great conversation that we needed to have, talking about single parents.
Yeah.
Hopefully anybody got some enlightenment on it by having this conversation. A lot of times we're scared to have these conversations amongst each other's peers or elders or whatever to be able to get answers or understanding. Instead, we just continue living life and walking with our heads down. It's time to walk with our heads up, be awake, understand that we know, they're single parents, male or female, and everybody's trying to do their best to raise their kid in the right way so they can provide to society in the best way how. We know it's tough, but a lot of times we need to be able to give this information to those that's coming behind us instead of trying to hold it in as a secret. I want to once again thank everybody for coming in. I want to thank Keisha for being a guest on the show, giving some insight on it and whatnot. And I want to thank my special guest, Mr. Flick It Up, for joining us today. Mr. Flick It Up, any final words you want to say?
I mean, hey, man, it was wonderful. It was here. I got to meet the famous Diamond Katrina, you know what I mean? And,
yes.
Yeah, and it was a pleasure to have this decent conversation with her about, single parents. And at the time, man, you already know, man, I'm ready to rock out. You know what I mean? Showcase, you know what I mean? Radio, let's just get it in,
Yeah. So don't forget about y'all. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's a link that's going to be below. If you see the flyers, there's a link to go to the YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, because the only way that you can win prizes on Gas Up Wednesday, you must be subscribed. Smash that button.
Subscribe.
Smash that button. Show us some love here at our podcast. Right now, we're evolving. The podcast is evolving. Eventually, we won't be doing Facebook Live anymore. It'll be live streaming through YouTube, but it will show up on your Facebook and your Instagram and your Twitter feed. So all you got to do is click that link and see us live, but also at the same time,
that link.
Straight up.
Get involved with the conversations. Look, I appreciate all the support. I appreciate my co-host, Katrina Diamond, for supporting and being here on the show. Without her, be nothing. Listen, the ones that heard the show last week when she was on, y'all hear it. She sounds like a female now. Last week, she had that voice like she was one of them females from Philly. Like, yo, I choked you out. Philly voice. You know what I mean? Nothing against the Philly ladies. You know what I mean? I love everybody out there. Once again, if you guys want to hear back to the show, there's going to be a full audio talking about single parent families in single homes and all that stuff. So you guys will be able to see it, even if you miss looking at it here live. I appreciate all you guys joining in. Somebody else left a message for Katrina Diamond. That's my sister. Hey, Katrina Diamond. I ain't got my glasses on, so Katrina Diamond, you need to read out.
Hey, Bernita. Hey, Bernita.
And once again, the show is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9:30 p.m. live on Facebook, and it's live on our podcast. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Once again, make sure you subscribe to the link. You'll be able to hear the show back when it pops up in a fancy little video that I put together. Also, I may have some of this video. You can go back and listen to these. The live, y'all know how I go. Facebook don't act right. It did shut down for a little bit, so it's 2 videos that you have to click on and whatnot. Once again, I thank my special guest, Mr. Flick It Up.
You already know it.
Definitely. And once again, my lovely co-host, Katrina Diamond. Appreciate you, baby.
Good night, everybody.
It's the Shakedown. Love it.
Radio. Shakedown. Real talk radio. Shakedown radio. Real talk. Keep it real. We keep it raw. Shakedown. Shakedown. Shakedown.